thing, David, I didn't know Dave's going to be in. Let me share this real quickly. He has to register as a sex offender. Now let's ask ourselves this, folks. Should that follow somebody the rest of their life? Should that mark be put on somebody the rest of their life? And how many of us out there are potential sex offenders? Come on. And because David's a sex offender with his mother living with him, he's taking care of his mother. You can't just get a house just anywhere. You just can't. Look, nobody wants a predator in their neighborhood. I get that. But at what point are you washed clean of that? At what point does that tattoo no longer follow you? What do you think, David?
Yeah, I always thought you do a crime, you do your time, and that's, and you're supposed to learn from it. I mean, we have a system where they really don't, but the system is designed to make them keep coming back. But perversion is something that you need deliverance for. Once you receive deliverance, once you're washed clean, none of that matters. And I tell you what, I would want to know if there was a murderer living in my building. I'd want to know if there was a wife beater living across the street from my sister or my daughter. And so we don't have murderer registries and wife beater registries. And so, I mean, really, why? And a lot of places they're trying to do away with it, but for the wrong reasons. So it's like I'm kind of caught in the middle. But one of the things about this is that was almost the second or third thing I said last night in front of a room full of people. I was like, and if you don't believe me, my proof is my past. I'm a registered sex offender because I was sex trafficked and because I helped my handlers traffic other youth. I said, so, this is where it comes from. I'm like, this is the perversion that they're targeting onto your children and your grandchildren. And this is what they want for them. They want them to be so perverted that they see nothing wrong with it. And the ironic thing about this is when I was trying to be a quote unquote gay Christian, they didn't have any issue, and no issue with me being a sex offender. It was when I renounced homosexuality that they were like, oh, but he's a sex offender. He's a registered sex offender, And so that seems to be one of the major things, even in the political realm, even in the church. It's like they don't want to be associated with someone who's a registered sex offender.
So David, here's the truth.
Believe in redemption.
And folks, all lies are destructive. That's why we have the 10 Commandments. People are destroyed by lying, bearing false witness, right? People are destroyed through adultery. People are destroyed through, just take the last 6 commandments, coveting, all of it. And it seems that the acts of the flesh tend to get more attention than, right, the acts of the soul. I'm not saying they shouldn't register. I don't know the answer, Dave. I don't know how I got on that, but that's the only thing that
I've always said that predators, that there should be a registry for predators. It's like when I lived in New Jersey, I wasn't on the online registry because they only put like level 3, level 2 on there. And I'm like a no risk according to them. And the only reason that I'm a lifetime registrant is because I don't live in the state that I was charged in. Because I moved to Maine from out of state, that automatically